Okay, welcome to the Kane County Public Aid Committee agenda. Today is Wednesday, June 21st. It's 2 p.m. And if we could have a roll call. First of all, while she's doing that, we have a guest on line 708 and ending in 139. Could you identify yourself?
Sure, that's me. I'm the court reporter. That's my backup audio.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you, Stephen.
Okay. I'm going to do a roll call here. Mr. Brutally.
Present.
Mr. Catching.
Present.
Mr. Johnson. Mr. Rojek.
Here.
And Chairwoman Lewis.
Lewis here.
Okay.
Okay, we're going to need to approve the minutes of the last meeting, which was April 20th of 2020. And I've been told, even though only I believe one of us was here, that we can go ahead and vote on approval on these. So I need a motion and a second.
I would make a motion to accept the minutes from April 20th,
Okay,
Mr. Catching.
I'll second.
Catching and
Johnson.
thank you. Thank you.
All right.
Call the roll.
Yep.
All right, for roll call on that, Brutally.
Yes.
Catching,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Rojek. Yes, that passes.
All right, then the next thing is we're going to go into executive session to review the closed session meeting minutes from previous, and then we will go right into the termination of general assistance appeal hearing.
So the motion would be in order to go into closed session for the purpose stated by the chair, including the review of closed session meeting minutes and the appeal hearing.
Yes. All right, so I need a first and a second.
Motion made.
And then it's motion, and it's Brutally and Rojek.
Yep.
I'll get it. I'll get it.
Who seconded?
Okay, I think our only online person is our court reporter. If you would please accept the invite for both your telephone and also your computer connection. And once we get everybody in, I'll let you know that we're not live streaming to the public anymore.
Okay, and then I wanted to do a roll call on the closed session, to go into closed
Yes.
session. Okay, and it's 2:03 PM. Okay, Brutally,
Yes.
Catching,
Yes.
Johnson.
Yeah.
Rojek. That passes. Okay. No, stop.
So the first item then.
No, hold on a sec.
He's not ready for us yet.
Oh, he's got to let the court reporter in.
Okay, you are in open session.
Okay, we are back in open session now. We need roll call.
Brutally.
Present.
Catching.
Present.
Johnson. Rojek.
Here.
And Ms. Lewis.
Lewis here.
We have quorum.
Okay, now we're going to need a motion to accept the recommendations from the state's attorney's office as presented in Exhibit A, and this is for the closed session meeting minutes. Okay, I need a second.
Second by
Okay.
Who seconded? I'm sorry.
Rojek. Okay, you ready?
Okay, yes, call the roll, please.
Brutally.
Yes.
Catching.
Yes.
Johnson.
Yes.
Rojek.
Yes.
Passes.
Okay, thank you very much. Just wait 1 second while I give this to our state's attorney's office.
Right, and then, so now motion to go. Motion to go back into closed session for the purpose of the appeal hearing.
But we, maybe I'm wrong, but in the past, they've done it where the applicant, you say, you have the case managers talk and what the issue is and that sort of thing.
In open session,
Yeah.
Mr. Shepro?
Yes.
They can.
Just 1 moment, we're getting clarification.
That I could even put up, so.
After the musical interlude.
Very good. He doesn't have anything, so.
Okay.
Good to go. You're good to
Right.
make an open session.
So we are still in open session. All right, so the next order of business then is the appeal of Irma Duarte from the decision of the General Assistance of Dundee Township. And at this point, Madam Chair, I would invite a statement of the case on behalf of the township.
Okay, perfect.
Good afternoon, I'm Cheryl Andrew Lee, I'm a general caseworker for the Dundee Township. With me is our supervisor, Aaron Grower, and our director of programs and administration, Katie Meyer. But Katie also does casework.
May I suggest at this time that all of the witness persons intending to offer any testimony be sworn?
You
Okay.
want
Uh,
Go ahead.
Ms. Duarte, you're going to, yes. All right. So Do you swear that the testimony you are about to give and the cause now pending before this committee will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. Thank you.
Hi, this is the court reporter. I can't really hear her that well.
Okay. You want me to do it again? Mr. Reporter?
No, I caught the swearing, just if maybe we could turn her mic on and maybe it wasn't turned on
Yes.
before, it should be
Mine-
sufficient.
Is that better?
That's excellent. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, and for the record, I am a duly commissioned notary public of the state of Illinois. All right,
Ready? Okay, back in the fall of 2021, myself and Katie Meyer took over Ms. Duarte's case from our office manager, Robert Block. And then under Aaron's leadership, we decided we were going to do things a little bit differently than Mr. Block had done them. In November and December of 2021 and January of 2022, Ms. Duarte received detailed correspondence from us explaining the requirements that the state mandates for the general assistance program that we had learned when we went downstate for training. In February of 2022, Ms. Duarte was terminated from general assistance for failure to provide the required documents that we had asked for in November, December, and January. And she reapplied and started receiving assistance again at the end of February. Back in August of 2022, the state of Illinois deemed Ms. Duarte ineligible for disability for the second time. So in October of 2022, she was terminated from the general assistance program for failure to show proof that she was appealing the denial of her disability claim. On to November of 2022, after the state had deemed her able to work, Ms. Duarte reapplied and was approved again to receive general assistance with the understanding that she would participate in our township work program as well as do job searches every week. She agreed to supply all the required documents for the program. Over the next couple months, the township caseworkers made great efforts to assist Ms. Duarte in obtaining her GED while also providing her with numerous job leads, which she refused to move forward with. Then fast forward to March 2023, Ms. Duarte was terminated from the general assistance program for failure to provide a valid lease from the actual property owner where she claimed she was living. And then we have recently learned that Ms. Duarte was actually living at another address since July of 2022. And we believe she fraudulently forged an endorsement on a rent check that she was given to the property owner of the address she claimed she was living at. And that case has been turned over to the East Dundee Police. So the total assistance payments that she has received from Dundee Township to date is $15,600. We're asking that the committee respectfully uphold our termination decision, and we're asking for restitution in the amount of $5,400, and that she be sanctioned from our program for the maximum allowable time. Thank you.
Ms. Duarte, do you have any questions that you would like to ask of the representatives of Dundee Township?
No, it was just so much information that I don't.
You have to speak close,
So much information.
speak close to the mic.
Oh, it was so much information. I don't remember, I don't have that thing, so I can't go back to the questions or what she stated. But I know whenever they would ask me for something like the tax form thing, he was not around. So how was I gonna, meaning the actual property owner was not. So that's why I didn't turn in that paper, which is the last.
You'll
one.
have a chance to make a statement at this point. If you would, whether you have any questions.
Okay, no.
Committee have any,
No, is there any other?
any?
Just like We would just like to submit the lease that shows that Ms. Duarte was actually living in the Eden Prairie Apartments of July of 2022. So for over 6 months, she was giving false information about where her residence was, and that's why she was unable to get a hold of that landlord because she was not living there. So we do have a copy of that lease we'd like to submit.
And the $5,400 that we're asking,
That is those months' amounts. that
Okay.
She received assistance and was not living
Okay.
in the address where the checks were being sent to.
okay,
Since the court reporter is remote, I will take the liberty of marking it as exhibit, Township Exhibit 1. And would be appropriate for a motion from the committee to admit it into evidence. A motion we admit Township Exhibit 1 into evidence.
I'll second that. Lewis, second.
Motion and Lewis seconds. Okay, Brutally,
Yes.
Catching,
Yes.
Johnson. Rojek. That passes. Oh, I'm sorry, and Ms. Lewis.
Yes.
That passes.
Right, there's also the record that was submitted with the appeal. And I would recommend at this point that that be admitted as Committee Exhibit 1, consisting of all of the appeal documents.
What was it, exhibit, or what committee exhibit?
Committee Exhibit 1.
We need a motion and a second for that also. Okay, I'll make the motion to accept Committee Exhibit 1, which is the documents that we were given ahead of time. I need a second, please.
By Johnson, okay. All right, Brutally,
Yes.
Catching.
Yes.
Johnson, Rojek.
Yes.
And I'm gonna, Ms. Lewis.
Yes.
Ms. Duarte, at this time, if you have anything you would like to say to the committee or anything you would like, any documents, if you have any that you would like the committee to consider, this is your opportunity to do so.
I do not have any paperwork because when I spoke to Jane, I think Jan or Jane,
You need to get, I'm sorry, you need to get just a little bit closer.
sorry.
It's okay.
When I said I did not bring any paperwork because the lady who I spoke to from Jane or Jan said that you guys have all the paperwork that I submitted in. And then I sent over a paper. What was it? The last paper they gave me that I had to sign, she told me that that you guys have everything, so I didn't bring any of the paperwork.
Right, but you don't have any additional papers that you want.
The only thing I have is that the Social Security, the second time, they're saying I was denied. I was not denied because it's still even going through appeals as we speak. But I have that, I brought that paperwork. Other than that, I don't have any other paperwork or anything else to say to what they said. So my Social Security for the SSI, the disability, that is not denied.
You speak
The Social
directly.
Security is not denied.
Hmm.
It's through, I think, the appeals. I'm not sure exactly how it goes, because I had never gotten as far as it is right now. So I did bring that paperwork. Other than that, I don't have any other paperwork, no.
So should we see that paperwork? You could give it to our attorney right there. Yes. We have a question from the committee.
I just want to clarify. are you now,
Did you identify yourself?
Ken Bruderly, Elgin Township Supervisor. Just for clarification, did you say you are now receiving Social Security?
No, I'm not receiving it yet. We're
Y-
still.
You said you were not denied.
Right. It was not. Or the first time was denied, so I had to do an appeal. And that's what that is.
Oh, that's an
That's what-
appeal.
Yeah, so
Oh,
the social
I'm sorry.
security
I
case
thought
is
you
still
said you
going
were
on.
not denied the second time for SSI.
I'm just in the process of reviewing
All right, thank you.
the submittal. Madam Chair, may I ask a clarifying question? So, Ms. Duarte, if I understand what you've submitted is a series of documents with a May 2nd, 2023 date addressed to Thomas Richard Nash, who indicates from the letter that he was acting as your attorney?
Correct.
Okay, and it says the above named claimant has filed a request for a social security hearing. And then there are proposed exhibits which were apparently submitted to him for review. And then it says, when all relevant evidence is up to date, he should advise Social Security and the case would then be scheduled for a hearing. Has there been a scheduled hearing yet?
Not yet, no.
So it's neither been granted or denied at this point.
Correct.
Well, again, this is generally an informal hearing. So I would suggest that for the purpose of having a complete record that, and this is your only copy, I assume.
Yes.
You can have copies made and distributed. That way we would then mark this as appellant or Duarte exhibit 1.
We need a motion to accept then Duarte Exhibit 1 into the records.
So moved.
Okay. Then you,
I'm sorry, who second? You did,
Catching.
the catching, thank you. Okay. Brutally,
Yes.
Catching,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Rojek.
Yes.
Passes.
Any other members of the committee
um,
have any questions for the appellant?
okay, I do have one question. I think it's for one of you. So her original address was in an apartment in East Dundee. And then the last 6 months, we're saying her address was in what town?
Carpentersville.
In Carpentersville. Okay. Okay, and you guys have the proof, you guys have the backing for that.
Yes, we do have her old roommate provided a copy of the lease and we did confirm it with the staff at Eden Prairie.
Okay,
Yesterday.
okay.
And is that that's the Eden Prairie apartment lease that the township submitted today?
Correct. We are unsure where her residence is as of today, but
Question? Is that outside of the township?
it is within.
Both lease addresses are within the township, is that?
Correct.
Ms. Duarte, where do you currently reside?
806 Alley Court, apartment 1C, Carpentersville.
You'll have to speak up. I can't hear you very well. And I'm-
806 Alley Court, apartment 1C in Carpentersville.
And that's the address we have.
Yeah.
I believe that's the Eden Prairie address.
We were told by Araceli at Eden Prairie yesterday afternoon that she no longer resides there. That her roommate or the other person on the lease is still there, but that she moved out approximately 2 months ago.
Is there any other response from the township that you would like? to
No,
state at
we would
this time?
just like to submit this. which was the last payment that was to Ms. Duarte. It was to her landlord, who we thought was at the East Dundee residence, for $600. Again, it was for her rent. It was endorsed by a gentleman paid to the order of Jason Crespo. The bank did put it through, even though Victor Castro's signature is not on it. So this is the information that we've turned over to the police department for fraudulent signature. So we'll turn that in as well.
And
And we
here's
do
the
have
copy.
Victor Castro's signature to compare it from public record. So
Okay.
we'll submit those.
So is that all the evidence that you have and you too, Ms. Doherty?
I'm sorry?
You have anything else you want to say before we go into closed session for deliberation?
They said that I'm not on the lease or that I moved out. I have the lease right here as of June 2nd.
I believe what was said was that your name is on the lease, but that it's been confirmed that you moved out over 2 months ago, correct?
From the paperwork that was provided to us.
Right.
I don't know if there's been an updated change or move or anything like that. And I believe, I don't have the paper in front of me, but I believe her appeal has the Balmoral address on it. So again, there's just kind of a confusion as to where Ms. Duarte actually resides.
Okay. Any other questions before we go into closed session?
Is there anything else you would like to add at this point?
N- I was gonna give you guys, or I can email this to somebody of where the lease, the current one that was just updated on June 2nd. That, and my name is on there. That I had to sign that day. So that's where I reside at.
Is that June 2nd of this year? Like
Yes.
just weeks ago?
Yes, June 2nd, 2023.
Do you want to look at that?
I
Um,
guess, yeah. And maybe again, just for purposes of the record, the township could state what the relevance is of where the lease is, if it matters, as long as it's in a
Yeah,
Dundee
it-
township.
The future doesn't necessarily matter, or the current residency doesn't matter, because what we're looking at is the violation that occurred and the failure to provide the appropriate documents. That's really what the termination was about. Month after month, we continued to ask for these things. We gave numerous attempts and reasonable amounts of time for her to have these. And again, it was just a failure again and again. She was terminated several times. The state, more than twice that we're aware of, has said that this is a person that's able to work and they are not disabled. Again, it's definitely her right to appeal that as many times as she wants. And again, any resident of Dundee Township is able to apply. But again, there are just some things here that, again, we had to terminate based on the mandates of the state and the requirements.
Ms. Duarte, the lease that you've shown me on your cell phone says that it's dated June 2nd of 2023. Is that correct?
Yes.
So that lease was not in effect at the time of the decision by Dundee Township to terminate you. Is that also correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
If there is no further testimony or questions at this time, then I think a motion to close the hearing would be in order, and followed by a motion to go into closed session for the purpose of deliberation on the appeal.
A motion to close the hearing. Need a second?
Second by Johnson. No, Catching. Johnson. Get it right. Brutally,
Yes.
Catching,
Yes.
Johnson,
Yes.
Rojek.
Yes.
Okay, that passes.
And then I need a motion to go into closed session for deliberation.
Rojek.
Second, go to closed session.
Oops.
Purpose of deliberating.
Second, okay. 34,
Okay.
We're going to deliberate them,
okay.
call you back in for the decision.
Okay, and this is
Yes.
for roll call to go into closed session. Brutally?
Present.
Oh, no, this was the motion.
I second the motion to go to closed session.
I know you did. You just have to say yes or no if you want to go into closed session.
Oh.
This is just to actually do it now.
Just to vote on it.
Yes.
Okay. There we go. Catching,
Yes.
Johnson, Rojek. Okay, that's.
Lewis,
passes.
yes. Cliff, would you close the doors for us? Thank you.
Okay, court reporter, please accept the invite to go into closed session. Everybody, just wait until I give you the okay that we are in closed session before we begin speaking.
Okay, thank you.
Who's the guy in the back room? Back of the room.
Excuse me?
He's a board member.
That's yes, that's board member.
Cliff's until the man behind the mirror tells us to.
Roll call again.
Okay, you are in open session.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say, I think you
Okay.
hit it. I mean, they went above and beyond.
I'm going to do roll call again. Brutally, are you present?
Present.
All right. Catching,
Present.
Johnson? Rojak? Lewis?
Those here.
All right, you have a quorum. All right.
Okay, we're done with our deliberations and two things. We do not, this board right here, this group cannot rule on the retribution amount. That's not within our purview, so that will have to go somewhere else. And also the permanently sanction, that's not within our jurisdiction either.
Okay.
So we can only rule on very first uphold order.
Okay.
Do you want to call
So a
it? or-
motion would be in order to, for a decision, as a result of your deliberations.
Ken Bruderly, Elgin Township, like to motion that we make a decision on, as a result of our closed session, that we uphold Dundee Township in the termination of general assistance for Irma Durate,
Duarte.
Duapte. Sorry.
I'll second.
Catching second or good.
Okay. Catching second. Okay, Brutally,
Yes.
Catching,
Yes.
Johnson, Rojak. That passes.
Lewis was yes.
Madam Chair, for purposes of the record, Ms. Duarte, as you have heard, the committee has denied your appeal. You are advised today, and you will be in writing, that you have a right to appeal the committee's decision to the Circuit Court of Kane County under the provisions of the Administrative Review Act. The Administrative Review Act does provide time deadlines that you should consult if you decide to further appeal. The time to appeal will run from the time that you are mailed a copy of the written decision of this committee, which will be forthcoming. And otherwise, Madam Chair, I believe that would.
Nothing else, then I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Catching, okay, all in favor on this one?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much, everybody, for your time.